Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh. After a disastrous and loss-heavy token launch, the tokenomics of the Hawk Tuah, I'm not gonna even pronounce it, coin have come to light, showcasing one of the worst rug pulls in the meme-driven crypto world so far, with insiders ranking in millions, average community members losing their savings, and one of the most embarrassing responses I think I have ever seen from a crypto development team. The Hawk Tuah crypto story is one of failure and stolen funds. Yep, let's check out this video called Scam That Thing, the Hawk Tuah Token Launch.
Everybody loves memes and everybody loves crypto scams. So why don't we take the crypto scams and turn them into memes?
Everybody loves it until you actually are the one getting scammed.
Undeniable logic. Yes, that's precisely where the industry is at right now, and one of the biggest possible examples ever just happened in real time. Brace yourselves for a banger of a CoffeeZilla video on it soon, because the Hawk Tuah girl, overnight famous...
He actually shared like a small, I don't know if it's a TikTok or a clip or a short, where he did talk to her. He literally one-on-one talked to her and call it a scam.
She said Hawk Tuah during a random interview, and the internet decided to just obsess over it.
Unbelievable.
The Hawk Tuah girl offered up her own crypto token, which went to a $500 million valuation almost instantly before cratering and basically losing everyone's money, except the insiders. They all kind of got rich. Actually, side note, she has the third most popular podcast in the entire United States, which I did not know before making this video. It's behind Tucker Carlson and Joe Rogan. She's third, which is kind of insane when you think about it, but I didn't realize she was actually that popular. So this kind of all makes a little bit more sense in that context. Massive influencer, crypto token, rug pull scam, everybody loses money.
Honestly, why people are making stupid people like this famous and rich, I genuinely cannot understand. But also, maybe the only explanation is that people are curious. People like me are curious, how can she get rich? And then that's how they give her attention, and that's how she gets rich.
Right? When you put it in that lens, like, makes a lot more sense. But yeah, I realized that after scripting the video, so I added in postscript. Continuing. I'm not going to make this one overly complicated with the tokenomics or the blockchain analysis type stuff, because that'll come later. Somebody is definitely catching charges over all of this. We just don't know who it is yet, and there's going to be plenty of people picking through the ledgers and tracking down wallets in the coming days. However, since I just got done listening to a Twitter Spaces, which is a really stupid format for discussing anything, but it is what it is. Since I just got done listening to one of those like Twitter podcasts about everything, where the founders of the token desperately flail around trying to defend themselves, and because the absurdity of the entire situation is through the roof, I wanted to do a sort of tip of the spear take on how Hawk Tuah just became one of the most flagrant crypto scams in modern history. Here it is. Hawk Tuah, the token at least called Hawk, was apparently offered by a Cayman Islands legal foundation, which is supposedly how these things are done so that they can offer the tokens under a proper regulatory framework. Seems fine. Actually, to be completely honest, that sounds a whole lot more like evading the law as opposed to following it, but that's an opinion, just to be clear. Not sure what exactly the foundation's name is, there's a lot of them, but structuring the token in a way that isn't just point-blank illegal here domestically in the United States seems like at least maybe an okay start. Not that it ultimately made a difference, but whatever. According to pretty much every single media publication who covered this, and according to the apparent founders themselves, while they desperately tried to downplay things and make it seem like they didn't just rug pull the entire community for millions of dollars, a percentage of the entire token supply, they say 17% a few times, so we'll go with that, was offered to insiders through the use of SAFTs, which stands for Simple Agreement for Future Tokens. But those insiders, who were given millions of dollars, many millions of dollars worth of these tokens well in advance, had no lockup period, as it's called, which basically means they could sell whenever they wanted to.
That's so
dumb. Within minutes of the token launching, as everyday people were hyped up and buying in and driving the price higher and higher, basically her community thinking that they could get rich, those insiders began selling, pretty much all of them. And what resulted was a token that rose to a $500 million market cap in minutes, only to come crashing back down, wiping out untold millions in the process, and earning someone, we don't know precisely who at this point, someone earned millions of
Such a
dollars in
scam.
transaction fees as well.
Easy.
Another aspect of this is called sniping, which means bots that rapidly buy out token supply directly at launch, then contributing to the rug pull soon after, which absolutely happened here as well. Here's an example of a bot wallet that purchased roughly $1 million worth of the token within seconds and then proceeded to dump it all on the community soon after, on top of the insiders who were also selling, so double whammy. But the team behind this token claims to have tried to stop these snipers from having so much of an effect. Clearly, it didn't work. Snipers had a monumental impact alongside pre-sale investors, snapping up huge amounts of the token and overall exacerbating the disaster. But I did want to mention that this isn't just a standard rug pull. It's also an abject failure of design. So that's fun. It's pretty cut and dry if you think about it. Failed management, rug pull, classic.
Is there like any way to not allow something like this to happen in advance, or is there a way for people who are actually investing into it to have an idea of people who already invested in it before and have a start?
Scam in the end overall. However, it gets more interesting than that because according to Bubble Maps, which is a tool for visualizing crypto holdings posted by the actual social media account for that tool, like the company that makes it, there was a graph put out showcasing that 97% of the entire token supply in total belonged to a single cluster of interconnected wallets. Incidentally, the same cluster that was non-stop selling and cratering the price. And the primary wallets that were sniping, by the way, as well. You can see this one, the one that I gave as an example prior, which begins with HII ending with RNN, which is number 12 on the Bubble Maps graph in the cluster identified. That's pretty bad off rip. Making a token, offering millions in a pre-sale, having zero lockup, and then letting those investors, or insiders rather, dump everything on the community as soon as it goes live is bad by itself, 100%. But what makes it all so much more hilarious and terrible, I know people just lost money, but forgive me if my sympathy isn't that high for the
honestly, I have no sympathy for people who are buying a crypto and whatnot, or listening to this podcast by this girl and following anything she has to say. I don't have sympathy. These people are the one, like, some of them are genuinely dumb and like trustworthy, like they're not trustworthy, like they trust easily and they will go for it. But others are thinking, oh, since she made it and made so much money, I'm going to try to make so much money off of her on an easy way out, the same way she did it, you know? It doesn't work like that.
Gambling addicts who lost their life savings on a meme coin called Hawk Tuah. Okay, at a certain point, you have to take responsibility for your poor decisions. But the thing that really dials it up a notch is how Haley Welsh, the girl behind the meme, and her managers maybe, or the people who helped her launch the token, or at least insiders who felt like they needed to explain themselves, went public on a Twitter Spaces trying to explain everything. It was a complete disaster, and I have to laugh a little bit when I think about the lawyers who will inevitably be involved in all this, listening back and just being completely floored by how stupid these people are. But primarily this guy right here, Doc Hollywood, and also this guy named Over Here, who apparently may be the person or entity who actually launched the damn thing, go on this yapping spree, like non-stop yapping, while saying basically nothing, and just digging themselves a grave over how it's unfortunate that this happened, but it's all about community, guys. There's one part, I'm not kidding, okay? I'm being entirely serious here. There's one part where the Doc Hollywood guy literally says, "You should be kissing my ass because I'm trying to give tokens to people." Okay?
Why
he goes
would
on to say, "I don't care
that?
about the price. It could go to zero for all I care. But I'm trying to get people interested in crypto. Maybe they go on to be interested in other meme coins after this." I was in disbelief listening to these clowns. And it got even better because Haley Welsh decided to let CoffeeZilla on stage to speak, and he immediately began grilling them about what happened, who made money, and why they made certain decisions. Well, they couldn't let that keep happening, obviously, so they muted him. They just didn't let him talk, or they tried to talk over him.
Wow.
Pretty sure they ended up kicking him out after that because he said, "I think I can explain what happened here," and they probably panicked when he said that. But pretty much every single person that they let speak just roasted them, ending with probably the best moment of the entire night, which was when some random guy started asking questions about the transaction fees or who profited, and Haley Welsh just pieces the fuck out. Bedtime.
So I'm sort of curious, like, not for the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual like
Hey
source
guys,
of income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
People are genuinely right now
Kidding me. Okay, guys. Yeah, I just count all of you. I know you have a genuine question that probably is gonna destroy the whole thing, so I'm just gonna peace out.
filing complaints with the SEC already. This isn't just another oopsie crypto scam that gets lost in the crowd. This was a viral internet personality. Again, I'm putting this in postscript. I didn't realize how popular she is.
So many
most listened to
content
podcast in the
creators
entire
do
country,
stuff like
right?
this.
That's absurd to me.
At this point,
but
you should
anyway,
know better.
this is currently, not was, a viral internet personality with a token launch that capped out at $500 million with a B, $500 million in value. And people in her community, many thousands of them, lost pretty much everything they put in because of how the offering was structured. Now, CoffeeZilla made some accusations about insider trading directly linked to the creator's account, which I can't personally verify, but I do take his word at face value now. I think he has a well-earned reputation for calling it right on the basis of crypto scams. So if he says it, I just straight up believe him. I'll be honest about that. And if true, that is jail time. Whoever did it, whoever made money from it, they will face charges because the scale of this one is large enough to where regulators absolutely will come down on them and make an example. The children on pump.fun, like literally children, 12, 13 years old. I have a whole video about that disaster, which I'll link down below. That's a completely different thing. But the actual kids who are rug pulling like $30,000 or $50,000 on random meme coins with small market caps, they probably won't face any charges or accountability, unfortunately, because the sheer volume of criminal wrongdoing here is off the charts. And the SEC doesn't have the resources required to prosecute even a tiny fraction of it. But what they are doing is headhunting. They want to find people and make examples out of them.
Yeah, that's
Icarus type situation. Fly too close to the sun, get burned.
Yeah.
And this right here is way too close to the sun. Somebody is gonna get burned. By the way, while making this video, I also shot a DM to CoffeeZilla because as I was listening to the space and hearing him ask valid, legitimate questions, and suddenly he disappeared, I wanted to ask if they had booted him right when he started to kind of like hold their feet to the fire. And the answer is yes. They muted and removed him as a speaker as soon as he started asking valid questions in the space. So they're just straight up trying to dodge accountability if I've ever seen it. And it's going to bite them really hard. In my opinion, the person who's ultimately going to get harmed by this isn't, I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be Haley Welsh herself.
I don't think it's gonna be her because I don't know if there is a law or something where she can like say that she didn't know better and that she herself got scammed as well by these people. I feel like that could be because she's not someone who is like who's into this business, or she hired someone else who would do these things. So whoever was doing anything backstage, or whoever was doing the documentation behind it and the programming and the selling, like I don't even understand how it goes. I feel like these are the ones who are truly responsible. She can say that she also got scammed by herself by them, you know, like she can say that she got lied to or whatever, unless in the contract it's said differently and she signed it without reading it.
She doesn't know nearly enough about any of this to pull off a con of this magnitude, but the people she hired, or at least the people around her who did the actual offering, somebody's going to go down for it. She can go to bed if she wants to when the questions get too hot, but there's no running from the fact that millions of dollars got wiped out. And the people who lost it aren't just going to up and forget what happened here. They're not moving on anytime soon from this. By the way, I'll happily link to the SEC.
It's like, how dumb can you be? Like, you are acting as if you took maybe $2 from someone and you don't care because it's like just a snack that they're missing. Maybe some people actually invested their whole, which is really dumb, but think about it, it's possible, their whole savings or their house or something, and they lost all of that. Think about the people who probably ended up homeless or almost homeless because of it. Like, you go to bed? No, sweetie, you can't just go to bed.
See investor complaint form down below this video as well. Not sure how many people watching actually have holdings of the Hawk Tuah token that they can claim as damages. If you do, I'm very sorry for your recent lapse in critical thinking. But for anyone interested, lapsed critical thinking does not mean that you should have your money stolen from you, so have at it. Hilariously, I just keep finding things to add right now. There's a law firm called Berwick Law that's actively looking for people that lost money on the Hawk token. Like they're headhunting.
They want to
so,
yeah.
Yeah, Berwick Law, they said this on Twitter. They want people to reach out to them if they lost money. Become a client, right? Like, here's the form. So I guess I'll link that down below too. But people did take notice of this. Like, it turned heads. There's going to be repercussions. Bottom line, Hawk Tuah is yet another classic example of wealth redistribution, where the meager holdings of the many, the 99% if you will, get redistributed to the top 1% of the ecosystem, who all too often in the crypto industry at least, are willing to lie, cheat, and steal in the pursuit of personal wealth. Most people picture the term wealth redistribution as this awesome utopian concept where they get showered with capital from those undeserving rich people, but in reality, it's when the con men get everything because they lied to you. So that's a lot more indicative of the reality
since
in
the
crypto.
existence of humanity.
Anyway, short video, spur of the moment. Stay tuned for the more comprehensive coverage that comes after, especially if I can narrow down who precisely is behind this Cayman Islands Foundation or the insider fundraising that happened early on. But either way, there's a lot of people looking into it now, and it's only a matter of time before everything comes out. Yep. Again, somebody will go down for this one. Mark my words. It's a pretty.
I actually did find a clip. I'm gonna try to find it again.
I have questions. I have questions. I'm raising my hand.
What CoffeeZilla?
Hey, this is one of the most miserable, horrible launches I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, then why the fuck are you on?
I've been tracing it on chain for a while. You guys generated over $1 million in fees while y'all's fans got rug pulled. There was snipers, but there was also insider trading directly linked to y'all's creator account. What are you guys doing?
No, that's not true.
That is true. That's a fact. Well, it's a fact, and you can see it on chain. So
yeah, we know. We trust me. We were there.
What do you mean?
We could answer.
You just
that.
admitted it.
You know about
that is
the insider trading?
No, there's no insider trading. That's why we can answer.
You just said.
Okay, so there's tokens going directly from the main account.
CoffeeZilla, just chill.
Literally what we saw in the
and then it's getting sold for $50K. Who is that?
Definitely not us. You think we're doing this for $50K? Yeah, fucking right. Talking to the wrong guy. You're used to these bullshit scammers out here.
Evidence of scamming and. You think we would be doing this for $50K? You would be doing it for millions, brother. Yep, this is how it is so far. Interesting. Don't fall for it, guys. Do not fall for stuff like this, please.